The Green Communities Act benefits the community in a couple of ways. We're building better houses. We're building a house 45% better than a home built in 2006, 10 to 15% better than a code-compliant home, and we're getting grant money to improve the energy efficiency of the town.
My name is Seth Pickering. I work for the Department of Energy Resources here in Massachusetts. The estimated grant for Nantucket would be about $150,000.
I believe that the town of Nantucket is in a good position to consider green community status by the early fall of this year, especially if the 2 citizens warrant articles regarding stretch code and the solar overlay district are approved at this annual town meeting.
The stretch code is a slightly more energy efficient building code here in town.
Stretch code requires we build to a performance standard versus the prescriptive method that's in the present building code.
And the home is modeled for what's called a HERS rating of 55 or less.
By working with a HERS rater, we give quantifiable data through the building process that helps the builder make a better house. We've got inspections throughout the process to assure that they're meeting a HERS rating of 55 or better, which is a home that's built 45% better than a home built in 2006.
It just helps you if there's some certain area where you maybe you're just shy of what the prescriptive number is. It just helps you gain it somewhere else.
We model all the components of the house, from insulation to windows and doors to the mechanical systems and the appliances.
And it's not hard to meet the stretch code. We kind of been doing it anyway. Is the bottom line on it.
Because of the cost of building here, when we get to a certain level, it triggers what's considered no longer a renovation by code. Does that mean then we have to bring everything up to the stretch code?
Yeah, it's a valid concern, but the builders here don't have to worry. A new building is just that, a new building. It doesn't apply to renovated buildings where, a lot of the building is actually new, but it's still an old building. There's no dollar limit on that.
There's some concern in the community that historically important features like single-pane windows won't allow a home to satisfy a HERS score. But the value of working with a HERS rater and modeling the home is that there are trade-offs that can be built in to the house's environment.
If your windows aren't as efficient as they should be, there are available remedies for that situation in terms of maybe upgrading your insulation requirements. A lot of different ways to go. I've seen no effect on the exterior appearance of these dwellings at all. The stretch code doesn't affect that at all.
And there's a mass save program, there's incentives in it. So it almost offsets the cost of using the HERS raters, depending on the house.
I want to make sure, because there's some misconception that it means that we're going to be allowing these everywhere, and
yeah,
we have historic aspects that we have to protect.
The town can designate appropriate overlay districts in discrete parcels. And so if
can it be one parcel?
It can be as few as one, yes.
All right.
I'd have to leave that up to the voters, the town of Nantucket, but I've seen a lot of that stuff go on closed landfills, and there's been very little controversy associated with it.
Third requirement, we would identify a baseline year for the town of all the energy use. That would be all of your fuel, all of your electricity for your buildings, operations, and your vehicle fleet. We would identify with a 20% reduction plan over a 5-year period. That's a goal. That's not a hard and fast requirement. And in the event that the town did not meet that goal, there would be no penalty to the town. The fourth requirement, fuel-efficient vehicle purchase policy. These vehicles that would be subject to the policy are really administrative in nature. All heavy-duty vehicles are exempt, and that's an 8,500-pound gross vehicle weight. There is no mandate in that requirement for either hybrids or electric vehicles, just so you know. Expedited permitting. This can be satisfied with a letter by town council that indicates that the local permitting requirements, things like building permits, Conservation Commission requirements, are normally dealt with within 12 months.